Welcome back. It's once again time to hop in the wrestling time machine. And unlike usual, we're not heading to Dallas. We're heading back to 2001 to rebook the Invasion. If you remember last week, or last video, we had Monday Night Raw, and the big point, or the big part of Monday Night Raw, was the fact that Diamond Dallas Page, Kanyon, and Tori Wilson showed up prior to the match involving two former WCW stars, and the three of them sat in the crowd, and in no way and it cannot be understated the fact that all three of those people not only got a reaction, but maybe offered a little bit of a distraction before the match. Because I can also tell you this, that JR was putting over the fact that all three of them are former WCW stars, and did not understand what the hell they were doing in a WWE arena. But Paul Heyman put over the fact that they were just there as fans. And now we head to this week's episode of SmackDown, also in the TD Bank Garden Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Much like Raw, before I get going, I will just say this, that I will try to start having the arenas mix up, rather than having the arenas, or both Raw and SmackDown in the same place. So, we are on the pre-show now, and it's the tryout match, much like from Raw when Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire had their tryout. Billy Kidman gets a tryout. And Billy Kidman, I gotta say, with his 61 in-ring performance, actually did impress. As did Vampire Warrior, who also impressed with a 44. Yes, the Vampire Warrior is Gangrel, but the reason why I call him the Vampire Warrior is because this is just a tryout for him. Which, yes, I mean that if the tryout didn't go well, then this would have been his only match in the WWF. And it would not have been a full-blown return, or a full-bore return for Gangrel, but it might be. I don't know. But either way, this does definitely start Billy Kidman's run in the WWE off on a high note. But now we head to the opening segment of this episode of SmackDown with Mick Foley in the ring, and he calls both William Regal and Chris Jericho down to the ring. Mick says that, or mentions now, last week on this past Monday night on Raw, I said that if you, Jericho, beat Steve Austin, then you get to decide what the stipulation is for your IC title match against William Regal on Sunday. And I said the same to you, Regal. But both of you lost. Yes, Chris, you lost because of Regal, but either way, both of you still lost. So I am going to select your title match, the stipulation for the match, and the stipulation for the match is a 30-minute Ultimate Submission match for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. So, if I can give you any sort of advice, rest up, because you're going to need all the endurance your body can muster, because you're going for a half hour on Sunday. So adding things to the card, not only will we see Steve Austin in a rematch against The Rock, Triple H in a rematch against The Undertaker, but and Kurt Angle in a rematch against Chris Benoit. But we will also see the WWE European Championship being defended as Eddie Guerrero defends the title against Hardcore Holly. The Intercontinental title is now on the line and made official that Chris Jericho will defend his Intercontinental Championship against William Regal in an Ultimate Submission match. And the WWF Tag Team titles will be on the line, with Edge and Christian defending the titles against the Dudley Boys. And if that wasn't enough for title matches, the number one contender for the women's title will be decided tonight. And Chavo Guerrero Jr. will make his WWF pay-per-view debut this Sunday against Dean Malenko in a WWF Light Heavyweight Championship match. All that plus more this Sunday for Backlash. But to continue with SmackDown, Billy Gunn wins the opening match tonight against Chris Hamrick to give Billy Gunn a much-needed and possibly momentum-building victory. And now we head backstage to the Commissioner's office, where Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy head to Interim Commissioner Mick Foley's office, and Jeff and Matt ask, or walk in and say, Mick, you hear Matt say, Mick, you wanted to see us? I did. Matt, you impressed last week, on Monday, in your victory. So I'm going to do the same thing with you, Jeff. You will compete tonight in one-on-one action against Test. Your wins in singles action do matter. They may not matter as much in your minds as tag team wins, but they do. Because even when you're waiting in the wings for a tag team title shot, a singles win can put you over the top as far as possibly gaining an opportunity for a singles title. You never know. Keep that in mind. Yes, I mentioned this, I think in the last video, that I may be building to the Hardy, not building to the Hardy Boys splitting up, but more so building to the Hardy Boys going for a singles title, to mix up the tag team division and make things a little bit different. But now we head to, speaking of tag team action, the APA get an easy win as they head to their pay-per-view match this Sunday against the Right to Censor, which, as I mentioned, and what is actually going to be announced here is the type of match, as it will be Farouk and Bradshaw going up against Val Venus and the Goodfather in a tag team match. It will not be a six-man tag like it was at WrestleMania. I want to change things up. And also, I want to say this, that the winners of the match will likely move into the number one contendership into getting a number one contendership opportunity against the WWF Tag Team Champions, whomever they may be after Backlash. Whether it is Edge and Christian or the Dudley Boys. And Jeff Hardy gets the victory over Test. The reason why Jeff Hardy got the victory over Test is simply put because Test is injured. And I don't know what to expect from Test because of the injury, so I'm going to I'm not going to put him in an important role, like right now because of the injury. So, but I'm not going to make him a jobber. I'm still going to let him win. I'm just not going to have him be in contention for singles titles right now until he's 100%. Now we move forward as Mick Foley makes his way out to the ring again and brings out Molly Holly, Lita, Ivory, and Trish Stratus, and announces that these four ladies will compete in a fatal four-way where the winner will go on to Backlash to face Chyna for the WWF Women's Championship. And that match will happen right after this commercial break. And we are back, and it will be a rematch between the former champion Ivory and the current champion Chyna this Sunday as Ivory wins the Fatal 4-Way to go on to Backlash to face Chyna for the WWF Women's Championship. And now we move forward as Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Big Show. Wait, let me set the stage. Kurt Angle is in the locker room. Triple H walks in with Stephanie, and Triple H says, Kurt, we have had our differences, but we have a common enemy tonight, and that common enemy is The Undertaker. So let's put our differences aside and coexist. That's when the Big Show trolls in and just looks at Triple H, looks at Kurt Angle, and says, we won't have a problem as long as you two stay out of my way. 'Cause I don't mind taking you out. We move on after the heel strategy session for the 6-man tag team main event tonight. We move on to Al Snow against Haku, and basically this match was to get both Haku and Al Snow on television, and much like the Billy Gunn match earlier tonight, to get one of them a win. And as it seems, the win was given to Al Snow. And then we head backstage. Let me click again. To the babyface side of the strategy session with Undertaker and Kane in the locker room talking, and then Benoit walks in. And Benoit just looks. You ready? Taker said, I'm always ready to kick some ass. So is Kane. Well, let's do this. Because we got some ripe ass to kick. And now we move forward to the main event, where The Undertaker, Chris Benoit, Kane face Kurt Angle, Triple H, and The Big Show in the main event in an exceptional match, which I think was brought down thanks to certain outside circumstances. Like, apparently, Paul Heyman's poor color commentating, and the fact that Paul and Jim Ross don't have good chemistry together. Or good experience, rather. But I will also mention this, well, to be fair, and 83 is actually pretty good, and Kane will likely be versing The Big Show for the WWF Hardcore Championship this Sunday at Backlash. But stay tuned for that, because I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do. But either way, this match ends in a draw after 23 minutes when the ref lost control and we saw things break down. But instead of having everybody fight the person they're fighting at the pay-per-view, you had Kane and Kurt Angle, Triple H and Benoit, Undertaker and The Big Show, all going at each other all over the TD Bank Garden Arena. But they were in the crowd. They were at ringside and up up on the side of the stage. That's it. They did not touch the crowd. Why? Well, simple. That's my way of subtly telling you somebody's going in the crowd on Sunday during their match, and I want to save it till Sunday. But either way, the show goes to black with Michael Cole. I believe Jim Ross, sorry. Jim Ross. Oh, wait. I forgot. I added Taz to the color commentating team on SmackDown. I forgot. Well, then that makes sense why it says that Taz isn't a good color commentator. Because he isn't. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not that good. So, but I may be changing the color commentary. I may be changing the commentary team again next week following Backlash to make it where SmackDown and Raw have their own commentary teams rather than having both shows have the same commentary team and then have the same commentary team on pay-per-view. So I may make it where Raw has one, SmackDown has one, and the pay-per-view has a different one than both SmackDown and Raw. But that's for next week. For right now, let's see what we got. 79. Unfortunately, we lost popularity in 18 regions. Because apparently a 79 isn't good enough for the WWE. Or for the WWF at this time. Yes, I'm aware that at this time the WWF was as hot as it's ever been. But also, I just gotta say, whoever made this file then should have made the file better. Because I'm doing best to... Because normally when you get an exceptional, when the game says the match was exceptional, then it should have been where the rating should have been higher, is what I'm saying. And that would have helped the show, in my opinion. So yes, I'm blaming it on the person who made the file rather than myself, even though I only had one good angle, and the angles are usually what brings up the show. Still, I'm putting the blame on somebody else. But that's beside the point. Point is, I'm gonna keep going. Even if I drop in status, I'm gonna keep going. Because I want to show you how I would have booked the Invasion, and following Backlash, things are going to finally start picking up in the Invasion more than they are right now. So stay tuned for that, because it will start this Monday, or the Monday following Backlash, which is this upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw. So stay tuned for that. But until then, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the series, and if the database is to blame for the subpar numbers that I've been getting thus far, or if my booking could use a little work. Let me know down in the comment section below, because as always, feedback is welcomed and appreciated, because hearing from you is half the fun. So, but if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.